Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of the Iron Meditation, the Art of Living and Lifting podcast. I'm your host, Coach Michael. Do you fear death? Really? Do you? It's a concept we rarely think of, and we should. Now, here's the thing. Many of us can easily jump to a burning house to save a kid, even if it means that we will perish. Many of us are willing to protect their loved ones, go to war, fight, and die for the noble cause. None of us is suicidal, yet we are willing to die. So the counter argument is, no, I don't fear death. I'm willing to. Do you? If we look under the hood of this will, we're going to find something very peculiar. This noble death of saving a child, loved ones, war, doing something for the society, it bears meaning. It bears some recognition. It bears a chance that somebody will remember you. It bears a chance that your life matters, that your mere existence in this universe with billions of history years, which makes us an absolute flinch, speck, whatever, and yes, we all know the concept. But if we think about this willing death, of course none of us fears. We will do it. And scientists will argue and proven that is the survival mechanism of the species and the reproduction of the genes, etc. Fine, but it stays the same. Your life have a meaning, okay? Or at least they gain one. But if you are absolutely alone, nobody will know, like a tree in the forest, then what? Then what happens? Now, that is a concept that is very interesting to pursue, because each of my students, when I dig deep and they say to me, I want to do a, kettlebell competition, championship. Why? Because I want to honor my father. Amazing. In my case, since my father left me when I was 3 and I grew without one, I want to show my kids the example of perseverance, of hard choices, of hard work, of practicing beyond any genetic potential, beyond anything like my business. All I do is give them the example that it's regardless, as long as you try, it counts. I have people who want to be leaders for their peers. They are CEOs of a company, and like a true generals of the all time, they lead at front. They are the ones who get up at 4:40 to go swim, run, whatever, and then they come to the company, and none of the workers have any excuse because their boss is on top of the game. But then again, these reasons, these so-called goals, are external. Nobody, it's not for the 10 minutes. Okay, it's the external factor, it's the external outcome. But internally, eventually, it's a meaning for my life. Because when in this very second you see a black shadow behind you, in front of you, okay? Because I don't like, Grim Reaper is not a pussy. He doesn't not creep on people behind their back, okay? You show, like you see him, it, her in front of you. And she says, come on, time is up. And like we're hectically going to do, oh, like what? But because if we done something, it counts. At least I can say, you know what? I gave my kids an example. They saw me, they saw their father, they will at least have a chance of acting like me, and I'm cool, I'm ready. All right? And each of us have something behind him. And that is why I'm huge advocate of signing up for events, kettlebell, running, whatever, because we are so afraid of death internally, because any death bears a meaning of rebirth and a new beginning, and that what is scares us. All right? The new beginning is what? Is the ending of an old and familiar, and that is scary. But when you're signing up for an event, you are practicing death. I can do 10 minutes on my home platform day in and day out. But going on to an event, practicing, doing, grinding, and I went to the championship or whatever, and I stood there, and you know what? I got a trophy. Fine, I got the first place. Then what? I've died. What I need to do then? Go and prove myself, be contained. Like, who am I? My whole identity changes. Like, is it Coach Michael world champion now? Oh shit, I kind of need to live up to this. And like, you know what? F that. I don't want to live to it. I'll better stand my platform and play, like Coach Michael, the old familiar way. And it comes to changing our partners, changing our countries, changing career and jobs. We are scared of death. There are some people who are literally afraid to go to sleep. Now, obviously, it's an anxiety, and it's a far out example, but it is. So pondering on a question, are we fearing death? We are, but it's not the death itself, because we've just proved the point that any one of us is willing to die. It's about the meaningless so-called death. But the better question to ask, as this episode comes to an end, must the meaning be external, or internal is enough? Internal take balls. It a quest. Internal comes only after you do enough external manifestations. Because like Einstein and any other Buddhist Zen teacher teaches us, that it's only by relating to the opposite then we recognize and learn the value of the present. So only by doing enough external manifestations, like these kettlebell championships, marathons, whatever, any event that you go, submit, train, and finish, we have enough experience to see, understand, value, and appreciate the internal peace of just being.